So, Emily, why don't you tell us about Cincinnati Bell as an operator? Give us a feel for who Cincinnati Bell is.
Sure. So we are based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, in the greater Cincinnati area. We are a telecom startup, but we have a Fioptic suite of products that were our fiber build. We have been building fiber for the last several years, and our 70% of greater Cincinnati is our fiber services, thanks to the almost $1 billion that we've put into the network.
Very good. So now tell us about the pay TV aspect of your business, because you're actually a quad play operator, right?
No.
You're a triple play.
Just triple, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we used to have wireless services, but no longer. So we have about 140,000 video subscribers. We purchased a small video company years ago and have expanded that from a couple thousand to 140,000 plus that we have today. And it's IPTV deployment is our majority, and so we keep expanding, and unlike most operators today, because we continue to build, we continue to be positive every quarter last year in net subscribers.
Very good. So talk to us a little bit about, now you haven't actually made a decision on whether you're going to deploy Android TV yet, but give us an idea of, as you look forward with your pay television system, what are you trying to achieve with that system? What are some of your constraints in your process of thinking about that in the future?
Sure. I think, like most operators, we face an expense problem, right? The programming continues to rise every single year. We had our retrans rates increased almost 30% last year, and that's not unlike
30%?
30%, yes. So this is something that all of us are facing today, and looking at how do we cut costs out of the business is something that we have to do. But it's doing it in a way that we can continue to maintain our subscribers and provide a valuable service. If you look at who our subscribers are, decisions are tied to internet. So we want to continue to provide that best internet in our area, and people are making the decision to buy internet with their video service. So we have to make that product compelling as well to continue to get that internet service.
So as you think about, let's get specific about the set-top box here. Tell us about how you're thinking about the set-top box's role in your pay TV service, and going forward in the role of it in your customers' lives.
I think it's not one size fits all for set-top box going forward, and we believe that managed set-top boxes is very important. It provides an aspect of troubleshooting that our customers expect. They expect us to be able to really deep dive and fix their solutions and understand what's going on. But then there's another segment of our customers that are in a younger group that would rather have their OTT device that they already own. They own a Roku or they own an Apple TV, and they would rather just put that on there. And honestly, and in those cases, those subscribers are not necessarily the most profitable subscribers because of their tenure. So having to invest less in those subscribers makes sense as well. So it's not for everyone, but we believe that managed set-top box is the priority, but having some additional options as well.
So it sounds like you very much you recognize that you have to still provide a set-top box, but you want to be able to also offer a set-top box-less implementation. Is that
we want to
good
minimize
summary?
the investment to the subscribers that are not quite as profitable. And we have a good amount of customers that are your real TV watchers, right? And those are our high lifetime subscribers. We make more off of the internet from them. We make more off of the video for them. And that's who we really want to focus on. And those subscribers want and today still need a set-top box. But it's the other groups that are changing preferences that don't necessarily need the set-top box.
Indeed. Okay, so you haven't made a firm decision about Android TV, but you are looking at it. So can you talk about some of the features of it that attracted you, and how you see it answering some of the problems that you have today?
Sure. So I think the big thing is that, as I said, we have a large set of subscribers that are high lifetime value that we want to continue to keep, and we want to keep them around for longer. as more consumers, as you said, 60% of subscribers have an over-the-top band, a traditional subscription. So as they see these Netflix-type experience, they want to be able to have that type of experience on their linear platform. And if we can give them something like that, and then it allows them to see more value in their subscription, then they'll stay with us longer. So the problem really is, how do we keep these highly profitable subscribers around for a longer period of time? How do we get more of them as we continue to build and get more out of our investment for our fiber build? And Android TV comes to mind because of the solutions of the content, right? So they already have this Netflix. It provides a look and feel that is like that, but it also then integrates with their Netflix. So we can have that subscriber be on our platform and then also find their content elsewhere. I think about my son, who watched PJ Masks, and all he thought was that it was on Netflix. So we would always go to Netflix and find it, right? But it's on Disney Junior, right? So after being so tired of watching the same episode over and over again, we finally move over to linear TV and find the new stuff, where this kind of, I feel like Android TV brings it all together and can take the new content in the sexy Netflix platform, and you can then tie it back to where there's actually other content in linear, and it brings the value back into linear.
Great. So actually, Ville, could I ask you, would you like to come up and start setting your PC up while I continue with Emily? So you mentioned SVOD services. How do you think about them in the context of your pay TV? Are they possible partners? Are they threats? Are you looking to use Android TV to sort of draw them into your sphere and help you maybe solidify broadband? How do you think about that?
Yeah, so we don't really see them as a threat. We see them really as partners. So we want to provide the content that people want to be able to provide or want to be able to watch at the right time. So whether you want to watch Netflix or you want to watch linear TV, we want to be able to give you the content that you want to watch. And we have the best internet in our market to do so, so it makes sense for us to partner with these folks. And honestly, it goes beyond SVOD. We also are looking at virtual MVPDs as well, so that those subscribers that want a lower price point, want to bring their own box, maybe it makes more sense for us to partner with them to provide the content rather than us doing it.
So for you, it sounds like you're very much leading with broadband now. That's very much at the forefront. That's the service that you consider that to be the anchor service, not pay television going forward, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and so I can see absolutely how a pay TV platform like an Android TV would allow you to be. It seems like it brings you a great deal of flexibility. Is that right?
Yes, and as we transition, if we go with an Android TV, I think, as Mark said, the benefit is we can do this kind of seamlessly. So we've got set-top boxes that we're deploying that have our traditional former platform on there, but we can move that, right? We can take those subscribers over and switch them to an Android TV and seamlessly do that without having to roll a truck and switching out their equipment.
Very good. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to bring Ville Partanen in. So, Ville, just introduce yourself, and then did you want to stand at the lectern to?
Yep, I will be. So, really shortly, we've done it. So many of talking, so we actually done it, Android TV. I'm the father and maybe even the mother for the project. We went out last summer. Director for the product development at DNA, addition to the Android TV, responsible for the whole TV products and the gateways. Just spend here a few seconds. DNA most likely not known. A pay TV operator, actually the biggest pay TV operator in Finland. So the question is, why does the biggest one go Android TV? In global scale, we're like tier N, but in Finland we're tier 1. 300K pay TV subscriptions, and we're heavy on broadband, so we sell mobile broadband and fixed line connectivity. But then product, just a few seconds here. It's an Android TV. It's an Android launcher. We haven't done operator tier, not yet. 2 channels, DVB-C, DVB-T. It's IPTV, so it's hybrid. DRM Verimatrix, 4K, HDR compatible and so on. So you can actually read this one. But I go to the beef. That's actually the question always is here as like why Android TV. So give you like three points that why DNA did Android TV. The first one is, of course, this is the basic, it's the applications. On the day that we launched, we had Netflix, YouTube, all the Scandinavian content providers, and even the local ones. We were the only one. There wasn't any other operator doing that one. There wasn't any smart TVs actually having all those applications. So it's an obvious reason. Second one is actually talked today quite a bit. It's build, measure, learn. It's fast to do. When we talked to Amino and said, okay, we would like to do an Android TV, what it was for us, because Amino was making us the Android plus iOS plus web, we added a few developers, and that's it. So scaling to Android TV when you're actually making the other applications was really, really fast. And when you actually started to do it, it's really, really easy to learn, and it's really, really fast to develop. And the third one is, where's your competitive advantage? Is your competitive advantage of limiting the customers? Are you really looking to get happy customers? And we don't believe that limiting the customer choices is something that, at the end of the day, you're able to survive. So we chose, let's not limit the customers. But these results to the next 3 points. So how do you differentiate? When you do all that one, you give so much power for the customer. So what's your differentiating factor when you're the biggest one in paid TV? The first one is actually what Emil was talking about. It's about selling broadband. The majority of the money comes from broadband. Our core idea is to get customers in, get our 40 euros product, which means that you get a broadband for us, you get a TV solution for us, you get the set-top box from us, and it's TV on the go from us. We are extremely happy if we're able to get 40 euros from the customer. And when you actually get that one, the second one is the applications. And I would actually say that here that when you purchase the product and use the applications, it isn't just about the application amount. Of course, it helps when you have all the basic applications, but it's also the application quality. When you actually, if you look at the application quality, for example, Netflix on it, it's really, really tremendous. And when people use Netflix application on your product, your Net Promoter Score will be going up. So it isn't just about how much you have applications, it's about how good those applications actually are. And the final one, as we are biggest one in paid TV, so what we do for the customer is that we bundle the paid TV product. So as a customer, you purchase our sport package, either it's 10 euros, 30 euros, 50 euros, or 80 euros, and you can mix that package on the on the monthly basis. So Formula 1 seasons have started. Many of the customers are paying 30 euros, then they go to Formula 1. When Formula 1 ends, then they go to football. When football ends, they want to go to golf. So the idea for us is to actually mix all the content to a unified packages and give customers the possibility to swap from one package to another. So that's the core. But I actually had a few commercials. As we're running a little bit late, I won't show them. I just mentioned that as Android TV is a popular platform that has so many features, we didn't do just one commercial, we did 5 commercials. And those 5 commercials represent the idea that how, as a customer, you can actually use the product. Okay. Well, just one. Well, I'll see if I didn't plug in the sound, but I can plug in it. Take a few seconds then. Sorry.
The reason I want him to show the ads is because, well, let's see the ad.
Let's see. The damn sound. Well, I don't, so this is the sound goes away. This is Netflix, as mentioning that what we actually done it. We did in a way that we combined, either it's a gaming or it's a content, meaning like Netflix or sports. And the idea is that we display through the content the actual product. And it's always the same family, and the same family is always in every commercial. It's been a hit, to be honest. So we launched the product. We're selling double than on the previous generation. We're by far the biggest selling set-top box compared to the other operators in Finland. So we're happy.
So if you want to just join us over here now. Yeah, please sit there. Don't sit there. Don't sit in the corner. You're choosing to really lead with Android TV, and that interface. You clearly perceive it as being a big advantage in your market.
Well, it is, and if, to be honest, customers share that one. As mentioned, we didn't see any benefit of actually launching, or we say like legacy middleware solutions. And the idea is that as we launched the product, and we were able to get a unified user experience. So it's the same way of finding the content, it's the same way of consuming the content, it's the same way applications. If you purchase an Android phone, you expect to have applications there. Our view is that if you purchase a set-top box, you have to have applications also there. So it's a really unified way of actually using all the content.
So let me throw out a little bit of a contentious statement, and I'd love to get your take on, am I near the mark or am I not near the mark? So it seems to me that operators, pay TV operators, are sort of standing on the brink of a complete change in their business. Up until this point, or maybe, you can argue about when or whenever, the job of a pay TV operator was to bring the universe of entertainment to their customers, because the customers really didn't have an opportunity to get a lot of channels, so the pay TV operator aggregated those channels and brought the world of entertainment to their customer. But it seems like with the way we are now split between pay TV systems and online, that role has really changed. And it's more bringing the world of the customer's world of entertainment to the television. Would you agree with that statement, or is it just completely off the mark?
You want to start?
Emma?
I would agree with that, and that kind of goes back to what our strategy is. So we focus on the internet. We focus on providing the customer with the best internet, and then we bring them the content that they want to watch. And something like an Android TV will aggregate it all together and make it even a better experience. So depending on who you are, right, you may have my linear, you may have Netflix, you may have Hulu, you may have it all. And I want you to have a good experience watching all of it, not just mine.
Ville?
Well, I definitely agree. I would be actually adding here that the data set that was talked on the previous panel also, that when we did the Android, our core idea is that everything you make, you have to be able to measure. So what we actually are now measuring, that we're measuring how much you have different applications, how much you're actually starting those applications, how much you're using the other applications than us, which means that we actually get some user insight that we wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. And as we get that user insight, we use that insight to sell our packages. So yes, we do lose some customers, but actually we also gain customers with the product as we're able to learn more what the customers are using.
So, Ville, you've actually done the rollout. How difficult was it to integrate Android TV into your existing solution, integrate the CRM, integrate all of the OSS, BSS backend? How difficult was that?
Well, as Amino was providing us the application, so for us the question more or less is that let's take on a new client. So all the integrations are more or less done on the back end. For us, the majority of the challenge was that we were actually introducing new functionalities and features that we didn't have at that time at the back end. So for example, we didn't have a rich metadata. We took on the Red Bee metadata. That was a big asset. Amino at that time didn't have DBB on the network PBR platform we were using. So we had to add those ones. But I wouldn't say that traditional operator billing systems or provisioning systems or customer systems would be any hassle. You have those functionalities on your other platforms, meaning other clients, so it's just, you use it the same.
Very good. Okay, so one of the things that operators are looking at in order to generate new revenue is some new businesses. So they're looking at things like security and IoT management and stuff like that. First of all, let's start with you, Emily. Are those some of the applications that you're looking for? And talk about the television in the context of those new services.
Sure. We are looking at them. That's not my area of expertise, but I think it again goes back to providing the internet and making the customer sticky with that product. So something like a Google Assistant where it can incorporate into other things in your home. that use the internet just makes us all more relevant to the subscriber.
Well, yeah, so the challenge for us is this hugely popular Finnish population of 5.4 million inhabitants and a really, really strange language. Result to the case that unfortunately we are not able to leverage all the use cases of smart homes and voice connectivity and so on. So it's a drawback from us. But looking at on the side that does Android TV platform, for example, provide you Nest products? Yes, there are definitely some IoT cases, and we do position the product to some of the user segments as an additional device for your smart home. So it's not a big segment, but there definitely is a segment that you're able to actually get.
So one of the things that operators have done, because they've had to and because their customers wanted it, is they've done TV everywhere type services. So I'm wondering, as you look at Android TV, how does Android TV pair with the existing services that you have today, or had launched? And does it make you think about doing the TVE services a little bit differently, maybe changing the interface? Talk about that aspect of your services.
Well, looking at that, we came from TVE, so we had an old HD set-top box, and we actually have launched the mobile TV solution. And for us, the question was that as we've launched it, we actually made a user interface and user experience that is getting quite a bit of traction, and people are liking it. How to transfer that one to actual bigger screen? So we actually came from the mobile side to the home. So it from that path, and there were many things that we've learned as we use the mobile. Of course, it's a little bit different when you go to a big screen and on your living room television. But still, I would say use the benefits if and when you actually have the mobiles out there and you're able to leverage them.
And Emily, you've probably got TV everywhere services in there. Have you thought about that in the context of were you to launch something like Android TV?
Yeah, for us, we really want to make the experience consistent across whatever device you're accessing. So whether it be your television on your managed set-top box or your mobile phone, making that look and feel and services and features that you can access the same. Not only does it give a better experience for the customer, but it also helps with troubleshooting and the call center agents to be able to know what we offer regardless of where you're accessing it.
So I want to actually bring in one of the topics that we talked about in the previous panel, and that is a topic of data. And data, it seems like, is almost a defining difference between, as it were, the old traditional television world and the new world. So I'm really interested, I'm fascinated in your view. You as a traditional pay TV operator, you've both had some data that you've been getting, but obviously, Android TV allows a much broader set of data. How are you thinking about that data? What sort of applications are you thinking that you want to launch, leveraging that data to help customers and to drive your business?
I think for us, today we really only have insight to what linear shows folks are watching and how much. It's helpful. It helps in content negotiations, right? But we really can't leverage and talk to the customer any different based on that. So being able to promote certain content, certain programs or tiers of content, or even broadband speeds based on information that we get from the subscriber takes our messaging up a notch.
I would say we're extremely data-driven. So we actually, even when you use a DNA TV application, we track everything that you actually do in there. It doesn't matter if it's a set-top box or a mobile device. And our idea is we have channel of the month, game of the week, and the idea is that we actually watch that who are those persons who are actually watching those free promotions, and then that is the basis that we sell and we call customers. So traditionally, a few years ago, we were the model that we were just like calling every Finnish inhabitant twice a year and trying to sell them some products. Now we're on the side that we have a specific groups when we make the phone calls. We know what is the product and the bundle we have to sell for that particular customer, and we're getting huge pull rates. We haven't got these ones, and so we love it. To be honest, we love it.
So this is actually now helping you make additional revenue. It will be difficult to have generated this revenue without that.
Definitely, yes. But once again, it's remembering at the same time that as we do expose like Android TV, so to be honest, yes, there are customers who are just putting on their credit card and getting the Netflix application or some pay TV application from the actual Android TV, and we are not there in the middle. Of course, there is also that one. But at the end of the day, as we have the rich data set and we're like comparing the situation, what it was before and what is now, we are extremely happy. So for us, it is actually helping. It's a revenue generator.
Very good. Now we're nearing the end of the time, so if you have a question, please get your hand up. And we already have one. So, sir, you want to yell out? What's your question?
Thank you. Actually, I have three questions. I run a small cable company, Linear TV in Jamaica.
Yep.
And I'm very worried, like you, Emily, and I'm in some things. First question, is there a need for VOD with the deployment of Android TV in our platform? Number two question, is Android TV, while Android TV depletes the need for linear TV, how do you monetize Android TV? And the last one, is the lost revenues made up in broadband deployment? And if so, how is the ordinary internet provider reacting to your internet deployment?
Okay, so let's take the first question. Let's take VOD and Android TV. Difficult to integrate VOD system into the Android TV environment? Vile, I imagine you have VOD.
Yeah, we done it. So no, it's just client as any other client. So integrating VOD it's quite easy, to be honest. It's not difficult. There, of course, keeping in mind that Google has their own Play Store, and in their own Play Store, Google has VOD movies. We are a little bit fortunate that at least in the Nordic countries, Google isn't having any Finnish subtitles, which more or less means that if you want to actually get Finnish subtitles, you have to use our VOD library. It's just transactional VOD and not Google. So it's on that side helping us.
And you can control a little bit how those results are shown, right? When there's searches?
Yeah, so it's a look like differentiating that if and when customer searches inside DNA application, so there's a TV application and you use that application, when you do a search there, you only get the results from your own operator system. So we are not fetching the information like from the Android side. If and when you do the search on the Android side, then it means that then you get mix and match from all the content providers and applications.
So the second question was about monetization and Android TV. And was it specifically about how Android TV enables monetization?
With Android TV, you are depleting your linear revenue because people are moving to the Android.
Oh, I see. And got it.
Way to collect from users on the Android boxes.
So, Emily, do you see it that way? Do you see that it's depleting from your, or is it just a natural outgrowth of what consumers are doing anyway?
Yeah, I think it's just really the next generation of linear. So we don't really see it as, for those subscribers that we would target with this, is they're at risk to leave. I think it's more giving them a more valuable, a better experience so that they'll actually stay with linear longer. There is a subset of our subscribers that is naturally going over the top to over-the-top devices as well as over-the-top subscriptions. And in some of the cases, that's okay, so long as they keep our internet, right? But the linear side of it, we actually really see this as a way to keep subscribers longer and get additional revenue from them.
I would be actually adding there. So if and when you actually go for Android TV, you will be making also a deal with Google. And when you do a deal with Google, there is an IP interface, IP billing interface for the Play Store. And that would give you some possibilities for revenue. But to be honest, you cannot count on that one if you're looking at the money. But there is an agreement that you actually can have with Google that a little bit helps, but it's small.
And I think the last question was about, are you seeing increased revenue for broadband since you've deployed? Is it helping draw people to higher tiers and sign up?
So the first thing is that we're getting customers from competitors. So there is a market that people actually they really like the product. That's the first one. The second one is that upselling to higher speeds is much, much more easier as we launch a product because people are doing more gaming, more online gaming, more IPTV, so they actually need more speed. So it's getting both new customers and actually increasing our ARPU.
Can we squeeze in one more question? One more question? Do we have another question out there? We don't? Then I'm going to ask one last question. As you think about your pay TV services going forward, put us in where do you see yourself in a year from today? Where will your pay TV systems be, and how will they fit in with the rest of the services that you're offering? So why don't we start with you, Emily, on that?
I think in a year from now, we won't treat all video subscribers the same. We will identify that some video subscribers will be worth putting a more robust investment into, and others not. And I think for a long time it was a video sub, right? But as the dynamics of the video industry change, who we take on as a video subscriber, some will have linear and we will invest with a managed set-top box, and some will just be over the top, and we'll consider that a win for the internet. And I think people, like I said before, people still buy content with their internet, so whether that content is over the top or with our linear, that's okay by us.
And Ville?
Well, just Emily took a point there, so that one perhaps as adding us that we are not as far as on the personalization as we would like to be. So next year it's about doing the personalization and really just displaying you the content that actually you most likely are interested. So it's a big push for next year.
So I love that point about being able to segment out your customers, and it's something that you've never been able to do. And in particular, identify the high-value customers so that you can target them with additional services. That sounds like a marvelous opportunity that people just simply didn't have before, that operators didn't have before. So I think that's a great note to end. Thank you all for your attention. Watch your inboxes, because you may have won that Google Home. So keep an eye on those inboxes. Relay, Emily, thank you so much. And I want to thank my previous panelists as well. That was a great discussion. Thank you all for your time.